Does that look like super cool and cinematic? That took way too many tries than it should have. Got the LS all cleaned up, ready to start doing some work to it. Gonna start stripping down the motor because we got a plethora of parts for this thing to get it ready to go in the 58. Let me get the roll cart over here and throw some tools in it so we can not have to walk back and forth the whole time working on this thing. Okay, get a ratchet, couple extensions, socket set. Basic sockets should cover the whole thing. And I already have screwdrivers in there. That'll do it. So here's pretty much everything I got so far. I'm still waiting on a few parts for this thing. So these are Dirty Dingo S10 swap motor mounts. So I'll be able to bolt that thing straight into the S10 frame that we have on the 58. The hardware for it. This is a eBay short sump oil pan, as well as eBay S10 swap headers. I don't know if they're exactly S10 swap, but that's what showed up. They're kind of just like block hooker, small, low profile headers. So I got those on eBay. There's also a eBay China wiring harness. So I know how these go. There's usually something that's pinned wrong or backwards or not pinned at all. So we just gotta look over everything when we put it together and make sure it's all there right and good to go. Other than that, it should be pretty straightforward. It has really basic instructions. I took a look at those already and they're very vague. Not really a whole lot of instructions, but it's just a wiring harness. There's not too much to it. And then spark plugs. The rest of this stuff is all rock auto. Spark plugs. Little PCV connector for the brake booster on the back of the manifold. Valve cover gaskets, valley cover gaskets with the little plugs for the knock sensors. New oil pump. Some brand new oxygen sensors, which I probably didn't need, but I figured it's a good idea to do it. And then these are the heat shields for our plug wires and the plug wires. And then this is a Dorman power steering pulley, which is about a 1/2 inch smaller diameter than the one that's on the motor right now. So I'll have more room with this one because from what I read online is the stock truck pulley is going to hit the steering box on the S10 frame. So this is a work around that. Water pump, water neck with thermostat, oil filter. This is the rear timing cover. Not timing cover, the rear cover with the rear main seal. This is the timing cover gasket and water pump gaskets and crank seal. Let's go ahead and just start tearing this thing down. Pull our belt off. We are going to reuse this belt because it's in really good shape. We call it. How many more do we got? There's this one over here. Get our little AC tensioner belt out of here. We're not running this AC compressor because it won't fit in the frame. I don't want to notch the frame for it. Because if I ever go to AC, I'm probably going to end up doing a full vintage air setup anyway, because I need the vintage air for the inside of the truck. So I might as well just get the whole kit with the compressor and have it all one system. Bracket comes off. Go ahead and pull these off again. So pretty much for this motor, I'm just gonna reseal the things that were leaking before. So like the timing covers, I keep saying timing covers, the timing cover, the rear main seal, obviously the oil pan, but I'm putting a new pan on it, valve cover gaskets, but those are coming off anyway, and the valley cover. So, and we are putting a cam in it, but we are actually gonna reuse the lifters and everything in this motor. Just replacing the springs. Some nasty water in there. It's our water pump. I believe those are 8s. Trying to not ruin the hose. I don't want to twist on it too much. But it's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. Looks like this back cylinder is the worst one out of all of them, but they're all pretty consistent. We got one broken one on this side. Nasty. This thing is full of junk and sludge. Take a look in this pan real quick. It is really nasty in there. There's a lot of junk in the bottom of this pan. When I drained the oil out of it, it didn't seem all that bad. It was definitely dirty, but not this bad. But it doesn't look like any metal shavings. It's just built up sludge from lack of oil changes. So hopefully with this little refresh we're giving it and some fresh oil and upkeep on the maintenance, it'll be okay. All right, got some gloves on for this next part because it's greasy in here. Go ahead and pull this old windage tray and pickup tube. For a second there, I thought the pickup tube was broken because it's wiggling. I'm like, oh, the weld broke on that. But I forgot these have a little slider piece. It's different. It's not like the new one I got that has the double-sided flange. Yeah, that O-ring was crusty. It stayed inside the oil pump and not on the pickup. That's interesting. Windage tray. Knock sensors. You know, this thing would probably leak a lot less if the bolts were tight. Like that one wasn't even tight at all. Okay. Well, let's take a better look inside the motor here. See how dark everything is. It's really dirty. You can kind of see up in here the timing chain stuff is real dirty and dark. But I think some crankcase cleaner or some seafoam in the engine and a couple of oil changes will help clean it up. I don't think this thing had very many oil changes in its life, which is a little concerning, but that's what we have to work with. Valve train looks all right, not a whole lot of buildup on them, just a little bit. Well, we'll get back out here tomorrow, do some more work on this thing. It's getting a little late, so I'm gonna head to the house and it's getting cold. But while we're here, go ahead and leave a comment down below if you guys kind of like this format of video, if it kind of works, or what I should change, what I should do different. But yeah, it's kind of just like a more relaxed, chill vibe, just kind of hanging out, working, getting stuff done, kind of just talking about what I'm doing, not really doing nothing super exciting or anything like that. So yeah, if you guys like it, leave a comment. If you don't, leave a comment, let me know, and we'll work together and get some good videos going out. But we're heading in the right direction with this thing, and I'm excited to get this thing running here shortly. Okay, I got a rental puller on there. Let's go ahead and see if it's gonna work. It's going. There we go. That should be it. Where can we pry on this thing? Right here on top. You can see that thing, it's super nasty in there, super dark. That's just from lack of oil changes. That's all like sludge and carbon buildup, and it comes right off, but it's just nasty. But that'll get washed and cleaned. Okay, now I'm gonna pull the oil pump off. We got a new one of these too. Yeah, this thing's super covered too. Okay, now we just got to pull our rocker arms off. Those are at 8. Gonna have to use the ratchet to break these loose. We got our push rods out, just so we can inspect them all. I don't suspect anything's wrong with them, but you never know. And there's our cam. Well, after about 30 minutes of sitting here staring at this motor, I think it's smart to pull the heads off and replace the lifters. As well as everybody else I talked to. There's one thing for doing it on a budget, but this is, I don't know, I want this thing to be reliable, so it's the smarter thing to do, to just pull the heads off, replace the lifters, replace the trays, new head gaskets, and new head bolts. So all that stuff is ordered. It was under less than 400 bucks for everything. And if I'm already this far into this thing, I might as well just make it right. So let's break all these little 10 mils off on the heads. I need an extension for that. So just thinking about this thing as I was working on it, kind of realized how much it snowballed from, I'm just gonna buy a junkyard motor and change the oil pan and put it in. And then while I'm already here doing the oil pans, I might as well do a cam. So I ordered all that. And then now we're taking the heads off. Not what I expected to do, but it's probably the smarter thing to do. And the little bit of money I'm spending to put the new lifters in and everything, if anything happens, it'll save me in the long run. This bolts will come off with this little impact. That one tightened up. Oh, my gun is dying. There's one lifter came up with it. All right, guys, we're back in the shop. We got our heads clean. I took them to work and put them in the parts washer, as well as all of our push rods and bolts and timing chain and sprocket. And over here I have the valve covers, the valley cover, and stuff like that in here. So all that stuff's clean, ready to go. But before I get the heads back on, I need to swap over the valve springs, because with our cam, we got new valve springs and new valve seals. Let's go ahead and we'll pull the rockers off and then see if this little valve spring compressor tool will work that I rented, because I don't have a very good one. So I rented this one hoping to be better. We'll see how it goes. So this tool is pretty much, it looks like it's just like a little spring compressor like you'd have for a car, like strut. I'm guessing these fingers here are supposed to grab like the inside of the spring and then obviously push down on the center of it. Kind of a funky design, but we'll see if it works. And it's got a nice little 3/8 drive on it. Well, it looks like it does work. It's a little sketchy. It doesn't seem like it's very strong. Keepers out. And valve spring off. Alright. There's all of our valve springs. Alright, so now we got the new valve seals. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on the bottom side and then on the valve itself. And they just pop right on. Just make sure they're all the way down. So since I can't keep these up by themselves, just take a rag, fold it up a few times, and just put it under that cylinder if the valves don't fall out on me. So now they're up all the way. New retainer. Or not new retainer, it's old retainer, new spring. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this side. I'm not gonna film this side just because it's the same thing I just did. And it's very repetitive. All right guys, we got the mating surfaces on the block all clean. Still gotta clean the front, timing cover one, and then the oil pan, but I got the top 3 done. So now I'm gonna go ahead, install our new cam, and then install the lifters and the trays, and then we'll get the heads on. Okay, and I got our cam all lubed up with assembly grease. Go ahead and get that in there. Can be a little finicky sometimes, but they usually go in pretty smooth. Hung up a little bit on this one. go in our cam and kind of help pick up the back side of it. And there we go, cam installed. My other 2 bolts at, there they are. All right, now that the thrust plate is on, let's go ahead and install our timing gear and timing chain. Get our timing marks lined up. Right there. Timing marks are lined up. All right, the lifter trays and lifters are all installed. I got the mating surfaces all cleaned up with brake clean. I put a little bit of oil on a rag and wiped it on the cylinder walls on top of the pistons so they're a little coated. So in case this thing sits for a little bit before it gets put in, nothing's gonna get rusty or anything. So everything's all cleaned up, ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and slap our head gaskets on and put our heads on. Put our gasket on there. Make sure the front says front and they're on the dowels. Let's grab our cylinder head. Alright, well the camera died in the middle of bolting the heads on, so I got that finished up. I didn't want to grab the camera all oily and do that, so I just got the heads on, and then I went ahead and I fixed the broken bolts from the exhaust manifolds on both heads. There was 2 on this head and 1 over there. So got that fixed. All right, guys, I just did a quick time lapse for the rest of the stuff I just did. So I went to go put the oil pan on, and I realized I had to cut the stock windage tray, this front half, because the front sump on the new pan is so short. And then I also found out I had to cut this little notch in the corner right here of the windage tray for the pickup tube to go down, because it was having the pickup tube right here hit the pan because it wasn't going down all the way. So now that I got this cut right, this is all back in, new O-ring and all that. I got to get the windage tray bolts on, tighten those down, and then we can put the pan on. Make sure we get that lined up good. Okay, torque wrench doesn't actually go low enough for these back ones, so I just snugged them up by hand, because it's only supposed to be like 100 inch-pounds, and my torque wrench does not go that low. So that's pretty much it for the bottom of the motor. On the bottom side, as you see, I already got the oil filter on and the cooler adapter plug. All the bolts are already in the slots. Just get them lined up. Let's get them all started first. Okay, steam port goes from the head up to the throttle body. Then on the other side out, it's gonna go to our radiator. So I bought an adapter that goes into the radiator hose with the NPT fitting for that hose. So the steam port has somewhere to release pressure, and it releases the pressure out of the heads back into the radiator. Remove that guy. And it just pulls out of there. We're ditching that one for good. And then to go in its place is this little part from Summit. It's just a little block off plate with an O-ring and a bolt. There we go. Then a little Allen bolt. All right. So now our evap system is deleted because the truck this motor is going in does not have evap. Then we got this PCV hose here, just a hard pipe, goes back on to the valve cover there. This is our fuel line. We'll leave that there for now. And then back around to the other side of the motor. Right here you can see the little plug in the back of the manifold. That's just a little push connect, and that's just because this truck was a Hydro Boost brakes, not vacuum brakes. So they just put a little plug into the manifold. But you can buy a factory AC Delco barb that goes in the same spot, just like that. You can't pull it out unless you push in the little red sleeve. That will release it. So now I have a barb for my brake booster that can hook up the vacuum brakes. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and install our headers. I guess manifolds you can call them. Get the front bolt started. And the back bolt started. And then with this style gasket they came with, they have little cutouts on the front and back. So you can slide your gasket in with the bolts already started. Just like that. Alright guys, I went ahead and did the last few things on the motor without the camera on, just to get it done pretty quick. So as you can see, got the manifolds on, spark plugs, plug wires, coil packs, and then I put the harmonic balancer back on, or I guess crank pulley, whatever you want to call it. Got it back on, and I actually painted it black a couple days ago, so it's all dry and ready to go. Got the dipstick tube installed. Everything came out super clean on this thing. Super excited with the progress so far. Can't wait to get this thing installed in the truck. Well, there's still a ton more work to do before we get the motor in the truck, but it's looking clean, ready to go. I'll get to look at it here on the stand for a few weeks or months, whatever ends up being before I get it put in the truck. But we'll get the truck in here soon and get it tore down and ready to go. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, maybe learned something, or just enjoy seeing the way I do it. Well, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Hopefully you learned something or just like watching along with the build. This is my first time doing anything with the LS, so I'm learning as I go too. But stay tuned for the next video. It'll be not on this truck, but on a different truck. This one here in the background. We did some work on that truck. So that'll be the next video you'll see after this one. But other than that, stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the next video.